I was beginning to explain a little bit about what Kayla had introduced us to the process already. Uh, Tell a little bit about your assignment. Tell us how this year is different for you, and then how you're going to be using the $250 that you'll be receiving for use in your classroom. And if your administrator happens to be here, I would like you to introduce your administrator. And that's all it is, there is to it. And as far as order, let's go Heidi, Anne, and Joshua. So Heidi, would you like to start?
Sure. My name is Heidi GOINS, and I teach kindergarten at Maplewood Heights Elementary. And I just love being a kindergarten teacher. I think it's such a special thing to get to be the first experience of school for kids. And I know I just feel like it's such an honor to get to be their first teacher. I know most people can tell you who their kindergarten teacher was, and I just always think that's a special privilege that I get to have as a kindergarten teacher, to make that first impression. It's so fun to see little kids become school kids and learn how the routines work and learn how to be responsible students at, citizens of school. And I think this year we wondered what it would be like for these little ones coming in, most of whom didn't have the opportunity to have any preschool experience, and most of whom have been at home just by their parents' side for the last year and a half. And so we were a little bit apprehensive, like, what's that going to look like? And I would say we've been pleasantly surprised. I think they do need a little extra support as far as how to interact with other people and how to learn how to get along with people that come from families that are different than theirs. That's always a huge piece of learning that we do in kindergarten anyway. That's always a focus, and that's always something we work on. And so they've needed a little extra support to learn how to interact and how to follow instructions and how to be away from their families. But mostly we've been pleasantly surprised. They are eager, I think, just like the rest of us. Like, they actually came to school and they're so excited to be doing something that's not staying at home, doing the same thing again today, that they are just really ready to jump in and learn new things and try new things. And now that they're getting more comfortable with each other and getting to know each other, I would say one of the biggest challenges of my day is just reminding people to stay 3 feet apart. And but that hasn't been as much of an issue as we thought it might be with masks and with distancing, even with 5-year-olds. I do have a lot of dots on my floor, so everyone just knows if they're sitting on a dot, then they're far enough away from the next dot, and that's my strategy. So lots of dot reminders, but other than that, it really has been a joy to be back in the classroom with a whole class and with a whole day where we can feel so much closer to normal, even though it's not exactly the same normal that we had before. I just want to say thank you. I just feel so honored, and there are so many teachers working so hard that I just feel really humbled to be recognized, and I'm really thankful for this money. I'm excited. I do have a few ideas. With our distancing, the classroom space has to be organized so efficiently because there's no extra space for extra furniture. And so I have a few things in mind just to help with stacking things up and organizing things well. Like, I've always wanted to have a rack for puzzles where kids could get to them without jumbling them all and having them stored upright, you know, and so I'm looking forward to having something like that. And I do also really have a passion for social emotional learning. And so there are some books and some tools, some visuals that I'm looking forward to purchasing as well. So thank you so much for your support with that.
Thank you.
Hmm.
Well,
I'm next. Oh, do you want to go ahead, Nancy?
Go ahead.
My name is NGUYEN. I teach at KENNYDALE Elementary. I'm a reading lab teacher, so I serve students kindergarten through 5th grade. One thing that's different this year with being remote for a year and a half is seeing the kids in person, the ones that, and I'm lucky enough as a lab teacher, I get to see the students, sometimes the same students over the years, and just seeing their excitement. And it's just so different than on a computer on Zoom, where sometimes the kids were really struggling. So just this year, being back in person, seeing the joy they have, connecting with different things like, you know, with all the reading concepts and having that face-to-face reinforcement with each other and the teachers and them helping each other. That's kind of what was missing on Zoom, is just that connection. And so I'm just really happy that the students have that and just everybody being in person this year. I already made a list about the things I wanted to do with the money, just because I was so excited. That was kind of just an extra. I thought I was just being recognized. I was like, oh, I get money too. And so my list kind of started out really basic, just with supplies. And I said, okay, well, how can I really make this impactful for students? Something super simple, getting kids excited writing by having really fancy markers. You wouldn't think, but it really makes a big difference. Newer, the whiteboards that have, it's a magnetic whiteboard. They're quite expensive, but so the students, as they're reading and writing, being motivated to, and also using manipulatives like magnetic letters, to make learning a little bit more fun for them. And so that's what I want to spend my money on. And Nikki is here. Nikki O'Brien, principal at KENNYDALE, is also here.
Hi, Anne, thank you. And hi, everyone. Thanks, Rotary, for recognizing our hardworking teachers. Everyone's working really hard this year, as we know, and they always have in the past. So I don't even know how we're working harder than we did before, but they are. And as you could hear in Anne's introduction and talk about her practice, she is extremely student-centered. And when you walk past her in the hallway and she's running a small group, if you're an educator of any kind, you can pick up on the depth of knowledge that she has around the learning and teaching process. So setting that aside a bit, just want to recognize her also for being a champion for all of our students and for our school's mission of ensuring learning for all kids. Anne is a critical thinker that she's very creative and she's very natural with students and has a lot of teaching skill, but she also has a lot of skill with adult learners and helping to lead through some difficult change processes, just through her ability to connect with people and the relationships she has and her understanding of how different systems work. For example, the system that we've been working on at KENNYDALE is to support students that may not be meeting standard, or to help teachers who are having a challenge with a particular student who's not succeeding in their class. So there's a lot more that goes into all of that and the changes that had to happen, but Anne was really integral in making that work for KENNYDALE. She also volunteers to do things like be the webmaster lead, because she is a jack of all trades. She has many talents, and she throws the most beautiful baby and wedding showers that you will ever see on Zoom. She makes them beautiful and fun on Zoom. So thanks, Anne. I appreciate you very much.
Okay. Hi, my name is Joshua Dio. I'm a math teacher at HAZEN High School. And first off, thank you to Rotary and everybody for awarding me with this. And obviously, I want to thank my administration too for nominating me. So Kate O'Brien's here. I guess she'll be able to talk in just a moment, but yeah, for me, it was a shock. I mean, as a teacher, you know, we all kind of know it's can be a thankless job sometimes. And when something like this happens, it's a little bit of a shock. And I'm like, I was just a little taken back. I was like, whoa, I didn't realize I could win something like this. So, but yeah, for me, my current role, I teach pre-calculus at HAZEN, but I'm also in a co-teaching model for the freshman algebra classes. And I know last year I did a lot of work just trying to support the EL students and trying to help them just to better navigate math in general. And I know for that, I think I know I felt great about helping them, but I think it really worked with them. It made them feel better. And I think that kind of has started off something, and we have some other teachers that have kind of taken the torch on that and are now doing it a little more in person. And so I'm excited for that to kind of grow and get better and improve. Obviously, yeah, the money was a shock too. So for the money, I mean, I was talking with our math department head and stuff like that, like, what can our math department use and everything. And I know one of the things is a new printer for our department, so might go that route. But then I also want to talk with our EL teachers, find out if there's anything that could purchase to support the efforts that was started last year, and hopefully continue that. So thank you.
Thank you. Kate?
Hi, Nancy and fellow Rotarians. I just want to take a moment to share our gratitude with all of you for continuing this tradition through the closures, through the reopenings, through all the ups and downs that our PK-12 system has been through over the past couple of years. It's really just nice to center ourselves in some of these traditions and to keep, awards and recognition going, particularly for our teachers who are just like showing up every day and sticking with it, despite all of the challenges that we have faced and that we continue to face. So appreciate you for that so much. I wanted to share, Mr. Dio, I think that his response is it's a perfect picture of why Mr. Dio is so deserving of this award. He went to all the other people to see how he should spend his money. And that is pretty much sums him up as a teacher and as a human. He is constantly looking for ways to serve. He is calm and controlled and decisive and thoughtful in the classroom with students, and also when he's working with his colleagues. Fun fact, Mr. Dio and I actually taught together 100 or something years ago in Federal Way. And when I became a principal and then found out that I could hire him on as a math teacher, I jumped at the opportunity because I knew he would be a perfect fit for the vision that we've been attempting to accomplish here. He is a co-teacher, which means that he works in classrooms that are embedded with students who, let's just say, really, really struggle in math. And he has endless patience and constant creativity about how to meet their needs and help them, break through a barrier that is oftentimes, has the potential to really limit their entire future if they can't get through algebra in high school. So I'm eminently impressed with his just ability to connect with kids, with the endless hours that he spends here doing math and volunteer coaching. Even though he said he was not going to coach anymore, he's at every single athletic competition, I believe, that we host every day, and is just like a super all-around Highlander. So we love Josh, we thank him, and I appreciate you Rotarians for taking this time again in order for us to celebrate some of our best. So thank you.
I'm Tamra Prince, the principal at Maplewood Heights. And of course, as we all know as principals, that things come up that you can't, that happens. And so I apologize for being late and not being able to hear all of what Mrs. GOINS, HEIDI GOINS, shared, but what I can say about her is that when she says she has a passion for social emotional learning, she really does, and she really she's such a bright light in her team. She is positive amongst a lot of challenges. I mean, facing those challenges, and really, like, when you walk into her classroom, you can feel the energy and excitement for learning anytime you go in there, even when there are challenges happening in the classroom, that she just keeps going and keeps trying to support every student and well-being. One of the things I loved about during this pandemic is how she jumped on the new technology that she was learning. She came back in person, really supporting our students, took time to meet with families to help them, her kindergarten families remotely, having meetings with them, like to answer their questions, just a lot of extra time to really support those new kindergartner families. That it's like, this is not how school is supposed to be for our first year of school for children. So I just admired her so much for that. And she's a strong team member and always collaborative with her teams, the team that she's on, and really working with like our social emotional team of really trying to help our whole school improve in our practices around social emotional learning. So I really appreciate HEIDI and all of the brightness that she brings to our school, as well as her knowledge and skills to help her fellow teachers. So just definitely want to say that. And thank you again. I think Kate said it best with how we're keeping these traditions, acknowledging teachers. It's as HEIDI emailed me, she said, boy, that was a bucket filler. So she just really feeling good about being able to have an award like this. So thank you very much.
Oh, I'm so pleased that the administrators could come, and we again want to thank Kayla and Randy and the whole administration for the work that they do in order to make the teachers' jobs really as supportive as they can be for our kids. Thank you so much. Thanks, Randy.